I had my first psychedelic experience in probably 25 years, maybe a little longer. Psychedelics are not for everyone. If you do them, you should do them with a guide. I don't recommend tripping at parties or concerts or out in the world where you can stumble into the lives of others or into traffic. And anyone at risk for psychosis probably shouldn't trip at all. One wants to have good trips that lead to genuinely transformational insights. So to get the benefit, I think you need to approach the use of these tools seriously. Here's what I did. I took 5 grams of dried mushrooms, and it must be said that my wife Annika was strongly encouraging me to do this. She was really insistent that I do it. Now, as I discussed with Roland, there was one experience with psychedelics I had never had, which is often reported by people who take psilocybin at higher doses, as well as DMT, and that is the encounter with something that seems to have a mind of its own. And I was interested to have that experience. There's no denying that there were parts of the experience that felt like an encounter with something other than my own mind. At first, it's like being locked in a dark closet. But as I was waiting for something to happen, I began to feel that there was a jaguar in the closet with me, and I began to suspect that some accommodations would have to be made. Now, unlike the DMT report that Roland and I laughed about in this podcast, I wasn't raped by a jaguar, but I can't say we're entirely on platonic terms either.
If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted. And if thou doest not well, then sin lies at your door. Well, so I looked at lots of translations for this, and actually, the next line is, and unto thee shall be his desire. Yes. What God actually says is something like this, is like, things aren't going so well for you, but if you were behaving properly, they would. But instead, this is what you've done. Sin came to your door, and sin means to, pull your arrow back and to miss the target. Sin came to your door. But he uses a metaphor, and the metaphor is something like, sin came to your door like this sexually aroused cat, predator thing, and you invited it in first, and then you let it have its way with you. It's like you entered into a creative, he uses a sexual metaphor, he entered into a creative exchange with it and gave birth to something as a consequence, and that what you gave birth to, that's your life. And you knew it. You're self-conscious after all. You knew you were doing this, and you conspired with this thing to produce the situation that you're in.